High pop. Should we get a chant?
You good?
Should we do a high pop chant?
Yeah. Yeah, go.
We're the Macpac, we're the boys. We're the Macpac, we're the boys.
We're the how do we go?
We're the Macpac, we're the boys. 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 Episode 31 of the Macpac Podcast.
G'day and welcome to the MacPack Podcast.
We're back.
My name's Jake McKenna, and to my left this week, coming in with the most sniffly nose I've ever heard, it's Mr. Joe McKenna.
Sorry, I got bad allergies today.
You sound terrible.
Where are the allergies from?
I think partly it's like, I don't know, like the smoke and stuff. It's the change of the season.
It's a hazy.
everything.
It's a hazy day. You don't have to get allergies when it's hazy.
Bad time to have allergies.
Yeah, you big COVID boy. To my right this week, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother, Junior boy. How are you?
I actually am sick, but I don't think I'll be as sniffly as Joe.
I can't believe I'm wedged between a sick and a hard place over here.
I got ya.
Boys,
Got you trapped.
it's episode 31. We've got a whole heap of stuff to get through. We've obviously been a part of the COVID lockdown over the weekend, but there's plenty of tales to tell.
It hasn't stopped us.
Let's get into it. Boys. How are we all?
We're the Macpac.
We're the boys.
We're the MacPack, we're the boys. We're the MacPack, we're the boys.
If you are listening, you won't understand that.
Nah, that's just an intro.
It's a visual
It's just
joke.
with the videos.
Yeah, but head to the YouTube channel to watch 30 seconds of stuff, and that'll make a hell of a lot of sense. We've just come out of the old
3-day
weekend.
lockdown.
Yeah, the long weekend.
The
That was
lockdown trilogy.
a long weekend that was made even longer by not being able to leave your homes.
There's a lockdown without Jake.
Yeah, I wasn't
A lot
about.
more bearable than the last one.
The plan was for me to go down to Mandurah. Had it planned for weeks and weeks. And then
Weeks.
obviously went to the extent of having my bag packed Thursday night ready to head down, finish
Which
work.
is unlike.
Yeah, I saw it in your room, and then I heard about the lockdown. I was like, Jakey's bag's here.
Yeah, well, the plan was to finish work on Friday, and I was actually going to have a pretty sensible one, so that I could just like pack
Except to drive.
up, and then drive down. And then at 11:30, 12 o'clock, it was announced that there was going to be a presser, and then
Big lockdown.
quicker became the fact that we weren't allowed to do anything.
That's how
But
they
we
get
were able to go down to the Peel region, and Mandurah's in the Peel
In
region.
the Peel region. I
Thank
think it's.
Didn't they
I think
lock
it's
down as
technically in the Perth metropolitan area?
What is?
Didn't both of us
Mandurah.
lock?
No, Mandurah's in the Peel.
Hell yeah.
Didn't we both lock down?
Yeah, but I could leave. I could go
You
to
could-
Peel.
you
I couldn't
could
go to
Peel.
I couldn't go to.
Oh, okay. You can go outside.
You could go to like the
Peel.
golf
Yeah.
fields.
Okay.
Yeah. So lucked out a bit there.
Lucked out and
What
lucked
did you
out.
boys get up to over the weekend?
Well, yeah, we had.
Joey had a good weekend. He was
Well,
watching a few movies.
There was the big press conference, and then
Joe decided to take the opportunity while he could.
so it was about 3 p.m. Big press conference.
On the Friday?
Yeah, everyone's gonna.
Were you at home?
No, it was at work.
Oh.
Everyone's gonna,
There's one sniffle.
Shut up. Everyone's gonna have to, lock down over the weekend. Lockdown mask starts at 6. Lockdown starts at midnight. I get a text coming in from one of the new boys. Just instantly, just goes pub ?
Good shout.
Facts.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? And then we went down there. We left early, but we were like some of the last people at these drinks because they were all there. Everyone just wanted to get a little bit of the weekend in.
Yeah, we did the
Yeah.
same
Heading
thing.
home.
Straight away as we heard, because we were going to plan to go out for lunch. We always go out for lunch on Fridays. But the moment that it was like announced, it was very much like, let's go. Let's make the most of this last supper. Get on the beers early.
Yeah.
And then there was a bit of a blowout at the office, which I stayed for a little bit, but then had to chuff off for.
But yeah, then I went home. It's kind of nice having 3 whole days. You don't have to go out. You don't have to feel bad about not seeing anyone.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel bad about watching both Paddington movies.
Both Paddington doubleheader.
Yeah, so I've actually got the
He's brought the cases in with him.
So this is the Paddington duology Blu-ray.
I didn't know we were doing reviews.
Are they coming in with a third, or is it they've secured the 2?
We don't know yet.
Ooh.
Yeah, so for those who haven't seen, Paddington is a bear, and he is from
What's happening?
Hey, where's he from?
he
Paddington.
is from Peru.
Is he?
Is he? I
he
thought it
lives
was
with-
English. Isn't it
He
English?
lives with his Aunt Lucy, and then he comes to England after his uncle passes away, sadly. And then
How does he get his name?
He comes in on a boat, and then he gets a train to Paddington
Paddington
Station.
Station.
And yeah, and then he sort of hangs out with the Brown family and.
Are you allowed to say that in this day and age?
No, their last name is Brown.
Okay.
They are Caucasian. And he sort of hangs out with
Matters at
them.
all.
He, he has a big positive influence on everyone in England.
Yeah.
That's good.
The Paddington movies are great. If you haven't seen them, please check them out. They're not just for kids.
What's better, 1 or 2?
2?
Bang!
Bang!
Calls
2.
it early.
I saw Paddington 2 in cinema. Yeah, it's like when you're watching a movie and you're like,
This is a good
this
movie.
shouldn't be as good as it is. Paddington 2 is that movie.
There you
Right, I
go.
think that's enough Paddington discussion
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Anyway,
Paddington.
if
for the
you-
whole
He hasn't
podcast,
stopped
not
talking
just
If you
the
want some
episode.
more, I'm actually going to be starting up a solo podcast called the Padcast. Where I sort of, wax, I guess, about Paddington 1 and 2, obviously. Maybe
Just gonna
alternate.
mute Joe there. And now, Riley, how was your weekend, my friend? I heard you started a new job last week.
I did.
Very exciting, and you've kept the job that you currently have as well.
Yes.
So
Kept him for now.
Much like Paddington, right? He's got 2 jobs.
it's only a joke for people who have seen Paddington,
I've
which
seen
is
him and I don't
neither
get
of us. Yeah. So I remember I had a day off last week. I was a bit crook.
it. Yeah.
Which is maybe the reason why you're crook now, and
I think so.
Sniffles McGee's kicked off in the corner.
Sniffies.
But yes, you came home from the first shift. Big shift.
Was it last Tuesday?
You know what? I was so keen to start. All the boys.
He was super excited.
All
He
the
had
boy-
his
He bought his
tight little,
training gear.
and he had his tight little fluoro shirt on, looking like a
his
real
Tim's.
man.
Fluoro. All the boys I go to the gym with, we all got the same job at this place. And one of the boys already worked there, and he was talking it up. And he did describe it as a pretty bad job, but I was just like, nah, it'll be alright.
Does
It'll be
anyone
alright.
from the place listen to the podcast? Because
Not yet.
okay,
Not yet. But yeah, it's a rough job. Do you want me to just describe
yeah,
the
give
does
us like
Yeah,
a
what does
brief
the day
rundown.
entail?
So the first day, it's a Monday to Friday job. It's like a real, like you could do it as a career.
Okay, you don't.
Not a great one, but I think it's like a lower trade.
Not
So-
a great one, as in like,
It's
it's
not-
hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
What else?
Well, like it's not like a fun 9 to 5 job.
Like
Yeah.
all
And
the
it's
other
not,
ones.
and it's not, it's not even 9 to 5. It's 6 till whenever you fucking finish.
Whenever you
Yeah, when
can't
the-
stand
yeah,
up.
so-
when the crates are empty.
So I got there on last Tuesday at 6 a.m. Oh no, 7 a.m. Late start. And I haven't been up that early and
Since school.
it's been a while. Yeah. And got there, met the boys, and we started unpack sea containers,
Yeah.
which seems fun.
No,
Especially
no,
when you're doing
That's
it.
it.
when
Which
you-
bit?
Not fun, but like it will be alright. Like if you're doing it with a few lads, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
Wasn't.
I guess.
Did the first hour, and we were doing like little like condensed milk, like
So you have to take one can.
You know
at
those,
a
like-
time.
they're in like 5 kilo pallets, but you lift 2, so you're lifting 10 kilos, which is an alright amount. It's decent.
Yeah.
It'll hurt
Yeah.
after a few hours.
Not after a couple hours. Yeah.
So after 1 hour of that, I was like, oh, like this is using a few muscles that I don't usually use. For example, my back. Like you have your
Not
back.
many brain muscles. It's
And
more
you don't
just
really-
like physical
Oh,
gear.
And then the bloke was like, all right, we'll stop at this container and we'll go over to the other one. Give it a test. Not a test, like we'll do that one instead of this. And then we'll come back to this one later.
The test is whether or not you can make
Yeah,
it back.
But was it a test? Crack her open. And these bags come flying out. It's a 40-foot container, which is around
Bigger than this room.
estimate. Yeah, it's like 20 meters. Not 20. There's like
40 feet. Yeah.
40 foot's probably like 15, 20 meters.
Well, 8
Yep.
foot is like 2 meters.
Okay,
There
yeah.
you go. Quick maths. You do the math. And then
That's sort of a take-home one.
and these big bags flew out, and they were like, those big bags you get at Bunnings, like those huge ones, like yay big. 25 kilogram seeds that I had to lift 1,000 of them in a 40.
Seeds?
What do you weigh? Do you even weigh? You wouldn't weigh much more than 60
I'm not
bricks.
gonna. Nah. Not a
What
lot.
seeds? Like what? What do you mean? Like
They
planting
were-
seeds?
I actually never know about this type of seed. It's called ryegrass seeds. And it was alright. Like I first lifted it up, and there was a government inspector there because she had to make sure there was no like foreign stuff coming in case there was like.
Probably could have used her at the airport, I reckon, at that point.
Yeah, so she had to stand there for the whole
Would
day,
have saved us.
no, we got to check this with their rye seeds.
and then she was.
So we could have gone awry with the rye seeds.
As we were standing there, like waiting to get ready to start going, as the forklift guy was coming over, I was like, I'll go have a little lift of this bag, see how heavy it is. Started lifting it. I was like, fuck, this is actually like 25 kilos is a fair bit,
Yeah.
especially when you do it 1,000 times. And the lady said to me, she was like, "You're not going to need to go to the gym tonight." And I was like, oh boy, I'm in for a big one. And after 7 hours, couldn't walk. Could not walk. Came home, smashed out a Zinger box, then headed to my other work until 12. Not a day that I would have liked to repeat, but I did repeat it yesterday. I will be repeating it tomorrow as well. So, Jakey boy, after 3 long days of hearing Joe talk about Paddington, desperate to hear, how was Mandurah? We haven't chatted about it yet. Was it a good time?
Yeah, no, it was very chill. The beach is only like probably best part of 100 to 200 meters away, just down at
The beaches down there are iconic.
Taylor's new joint. Yeah, the beaches are iconic. The one that we're at also is very quiet. Like it's not one of the main
Yeah,
ones.
that's right.
Ooh.
So yeah, I was like one of 4 people most of the time that I was down there. And I'd go down like every day and just sort of chill out. A lot more seaweed this time round than when I went
That's the worst part about, especially Mandurah beaches.
a couple of weeks ago.
So much seaweed.
Well, the one that we used to go to when we were a kid, what's it called?
In
Falcon.
Falcon.
Is it just Falcon Bay?
Yeah, Falcon Bay.
Fuck, man. We put up some good hours at Falcon Bay since I can remember. We would have been like 4.
Yeah, it's funny. At Falcon, that's the one where there's like the grass, little ledge down, and then
Yeah,
sand.
and then the sand and then the water.
it's funny because like when
And
I
the
was
pontoon's always
yeah,
when I
true.
was like a kid, that little ledge down
seemed huge.
seemed
eh?
like like at Cottesloe and stuff where you have like
Yeah,
that big
yeah.
thing.
The big jump.
That's
yeah.
what it felt like.
Yeah, and then we went back there and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
It's not even a half step.
Yeah.
But yeah, we when was the last time you went back there? It's all different now.
In Mandurah.
Would have been when we were all there years and years ago.
We
Yeah,
should
I
definitely
haven't
we'll make the trip back down. It's
I
not that
haven't
far.
been
It's like
back
50. It's like 50
Yeah,
minutes. You talk about it like it's on the other side of the country.
Feels like it.
I haven't been down there in ages.
They've done up the place. I didn't go down this time. But
Bougie.
I went down
Oh,
this time
yeah.
last year. New barbecue set, very exciting.
Ooh.
But the pontoon that they have down there was very. They used to
Iconic.
get a pumping, but we were always too young to swim out.
It was
to
scary swimming out there.
I remember
All the old kids around there doing the little rocking thing.
Yeah.
we went. The most recent time we went would have been like a couple of years ago now. Was it? How old is he?
Was I in year 12? No. I don't know. Are we thinking about the same time?
What time are you think about?
When we stayed at that house, it was like across the road from the park.
Yeah.
No. This was
That was the last time I was there.
yeah. That was the last time.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
was
and our
it?
family friends came and visited us one day, and they were like, "Damn, Riley's tanned." Like that time,
I can't remember.
What family friend?
and we still had Zoe and Buddy.
That was ages ago, dude.
I feel like that. No, I was still
I know we're
like
talking about different
I
times.
was still well
Oh,
young.
wait, you're talking about when we learned how to surf. Remember when we brought the surfboards down? At
Should we just hit
MH112?
pause, work out what we're talking about, and then go from there?
No, this is good. I think.
I feel like
Was
this
this
is
the time
entertaining.
where I binge watched Seinfeld?
No, that was years and years.
Is that what
and
you
years
did?
and years ago.
We went to Mandurah
You
and
weren't
watched
even in. I
Seinfeld.
don't even think you were in year 7 when that happened. You were.
When the fuck did we go there last? Oh no, I do remember. It was. I do remember, and we watched the tennis. The tennis was on. We were in
And
that
we
little
watched,
house.
no, we watched Scrubs.
Yeah, we watched Scrubs.
Scrubs.
Yeah,
That was the
yeah.
Scrubs. Yeah.
I do remember.
And we
that,
took
yeah.
the surfboards down. We went like to the big.
Yeah.
But that was a different one to the one I'm thinking of. Do you
And we-
remember when we went to Falcon Bay and there was just like a shit ton of seaweed?
Yeah.
And we went swimming out to the pontoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
No, not at all.
Actually?
You don't remember that? I
And we
remember
went
that.
swimming out. Oh, vaguely, yeah. And, yeah, I think I do
Yeah.
remember now, yeah.
So we went out. We jumped on. I think we jumped on one of the surfboards to swim out. And
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
just going to
yeah,
swim
yeah.
all the way out to the pontoon. Riley would have been not that young, maybe
Year 9.
year 9, and like old enough to be aware of, old enough to be able to swim out to the pontoon without any issues.
yeah.
As were we, because I was like 20 and you would have been like 18 or
Yeah.
something. And so we start paddling out, and then it becomes very apparent that there was a lot of seaweed. Do you remember? It was like
Fuck
knee high
that,
seaweed,
bro.
and like you try and swim on
yeah,
top
I
of
do remember.
on
And it's
top
like
of it,
it's-
but you could still feel it
Try
on your
to
stomach.
stay-
It was almost long enough that it was actually like popping out from the water, despite actually being like a heavily underwater
and
grass
it's one of
tree.
those things where like you swim on top of it, and then it like touches your stomach, and then
And you get a bit of heebie-jeebies.
your gut reaction is to sort of like go into like more of a standing position,
and then you just
but then you're just
standing
in
and-
more seaweed.
But this shit was like, it was like grass. Like, it was so long and so thick and so high. And we were just like, we'll just swim over it. And you panicked. You little boy,
'Cause
junior
It
boy,
just doesn't
panicked
escape you. It feels
more
like
than-
it's just holding on to you.
more than anyone I've ever seen panic in front of.
I've always hated
You
seaweed.
Despite
You
having
sobbed.
the
You
aura
screamed.
of
No, that's
a-
right. You screamed. You blatantly just screamed.
Yeah, I think Riley being so like I'm 2 years younger than you. Riley's 4 years younger than me. I think him being the baby of the family
Oh, it's never been
made
more
him
apparent.
act like the baby
Yeah,
of the
it's never been
family.
more apparent. You cried and you squealed.
I cried.
You cried and you carried
That's
on
cat.
so much, and I've never heard you scream that loudly, and it caused.
Wait, while we're in the water?
Yeah,
I don't
because you
remember
kept
that.
touching. You kept touching the seaweed
seaweed.
as we were
Yeah,
trying
I
to swim
probably
out to
kept
the
trying to
pontoon.
stand up to like.
Well, you didn't know what to do because you were getting touched by it on the stomach, and then you stand up, and then I was like, well, that's not going to help anything because now you're just like up in
more
your
seaweed,
waist,
yeah.
yeah. And you were screaming, and like other patrons on the beach didn't know what was going on. I thought you were getting like raped or something. And then eventually, I was like, well, let's just go. And you swam through like a fair bit of it, and we went out to the pond. We finally got out there.
Oh, so we were in the clear.
Yeah, but then it became like a bit of a thing because we obviously had to get back to the
That's how
shore.
they get you, dude.
And you screamed and carried on and just like really hissy fit. Like,
Did Mum come out to the pontoon?
Mum.
Yeah,
I don't think so. That seems a bit of a trundle. But you carried on like nothing else. I remember the ambulance rocked up and it wasn't at all to do with you.
Could have been.
But we genuinely had you going for a while. You thought that the ambos had come for you. We were like, yeah, no, you were screaming that loud that the ambos have come.
Actually,
Yeah. And
fuck, I was young in year 9.
he got real nervous. He was like, "Oh, let's go home then. Let's go home." And like the ambo car, the whatever van that just happened.
I
just
thought it was
sort
gonna
of
be on Bondi Rescue.
Hell yeah.
yeah, big
Falcon
scenes.
Rescue.
Wasn't.
I remember dry reaching on the beach because of how fucked it is. It smells like down there.
what the
Because of the
The seaweed. Like you
yeah.
get there and it's literally like the worst part about it is when it's like on the like you can see it on the beach, and then you like take a step in and it's like, oh, it's literally everywhere. I
Yeah,
hate
I
seaweed.
hate stuff like
Touching you?
dirty water. Yeah, things touching you. We used to do canoeing in outdoor ed, and
Yeah.
we did one. It was like one thing on the syllabus or whatever. You had to learn how to like, if you flip your canoe over, you got to be able to flip it up and get back in, like in the middle of the water.
Yeah, because it can.
It's like a safety thing
Yeah.
or whatever. So we were in the river, like Canning River in Riverton, next to like Canning Bridge.
Yep.
And we were in there. We like swam out because like we hadn't really swum in the river because we were just doing canoeing.
Yeah.
And then we all go out there, and then you basically just have to sit in your canoe. Then it's like you and your partner or whatever, and you just have to like tip it over, just like rock back and forth until you tip it over.
Yeah.
And then you got to sort of get out, flip the canoe over, and then you both have to like climb back in.
Yeah.
So we were, swimming in the middle of this river because like we've all flipped ourselves over. And then when we came back to the shore, because I don't think the teacher did it, I think he was just out there in the canoe. And then, yeah, we like everyone was just cut because it's like a really dirty river. Like I wouldn't, like we grew up on there.
The river's just in
I wouldn't
generally.
go.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's not a good look.
In there, it's like people always say like, oh,
It's
like,
not
it's
a
such like a
swimming.
nice
It
like
smells weird.
when you like look
it's
at
dirty.
it. But yeah, it's not good, especially in this.
People who buy houses near the river, like they firstly they cost heaps. You're
I
not
know-
getting anything for that. You're not using the river.
Yeah, unless
Just
you're gonna
smells
like
weird.
float on top of it in a boat or a canoe. It's not good.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
flash.
And we all came out and we were covered in just like black like
Oh,
sludge.
gunk. Yeah, nice.
Oh.
Like the girls had it in their like hair and
Oh,
shit.
that's good.
just everywhere. The teacher was just like laughing.
Who was the teacher?
It was the teacher who threw you out of the gym for eating tiny teddies.
Oh, what a fucking piece of shit he was, man. He was a dirt bag. He deserves a bit of fucking sludge down his throat, that little piece of shit.
Have we told the Tiny Teddy story?
Now it's as good a time as ever,
The
I
infamous
guess.
tiny teddies.
So at many high schools, it wasn't there for long when I was there, but the indoor soccer
The indoor
indoor soccer
I don't think that's a
competitions-
many.
used to go
No, it
off.
is.
Nah, I think it's
It's
growing.
pretty common,
It's
yeah.
growing.
I thought it was
I
like
think
a,
It's a growing phenom. I think we were the first.
because
Of course, we're gonna say that. Like we
We were
know.
the first that we know of.
I've never heard anyone else talk about their indoor soccer comps.
I feel like it's a pretty niche chat. You're not going to talk about.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
the
coming
Aquinas
out.
boys.
I think also it having the everyone went to indoor soccer.
Well, it was a
Legit.
big thing, especially in the old gym. It used to pack it out, and we used to have tiered
Oh,
seating.
when they moved
was like an
out
arena.
of the old gym,
Yeah, it was like
no,
a
it
glad-
glowed.
It died. It doesn't.
I don't know.
It
It
barely
doesn't
exists
now.
anymore.
The old gym. Yeah,
Went
and then they play
hard.
like the music and stuff.
Yeah,
And, like,
pumping.
And because it was such a like old dingy type of setup, it sort of added to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And
And
felt
when
like
you-
you were back at Challenge Stadium. Like it was just like
Yeah.
it was the shit zone, and just like the tiered seating, the loud music. Everyone was just like, man.
And the
and
ball-
boys would just like pepper these balls.
and
Just
the ball
like,
just
yeah.
clanks up against
And it's
glass
like-
and just rattles against the metal of the.
and I love they do like it's like a round robin, and then it's like all right, the year 12s are versing the year 7s at recess.
Yeah.
and they're just like booting the ball
Yeah,
at the
just
goalie.
like-
Like they don't give a
trying to
fuck.
kill this
Yeah.
poor year 7
win
kid.
or go.
And the
home.
teachers team would always have the easiest.
Oh yeah,
fucking-
they
they
Yeah.
go. Oh, we got your 7s, then
Best
we've got 8s, then
pathway.
we've got 9s, and then we've got the the 12s who have won the other side of
yeah.
them.
Then we're playing against the kids, and then they're knocking everyone off. That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
My team, I've had money on them most weeks. They unpredictable, unpredictable bunch. But yeah, the soccer, the soccer, the
This is the
soccer,
last episode of the
yeah,
podcast.
the soccer used to go off. It
I
was,
also love when they would have you get to penalty shootouts, and they stopped doing this in like the later years, but penalty shootouts, and everyone would just fucking.
oh yeah, the whole,
Stand around
the whole school would just be in this little cube,
There would be like
Bring it back.
and
the
you've got the
goals-
goalkeeper,
then like 10 feet or whatever.
and then
Then
170
one guy with the
kids.
ball, and then everyone just like, oh, you're gonna fucking miss. You suck at soccer.
That's so cool. It's like if you were like playing, it'd feel like you're a part of like you're actually part of like the World Cup.
Yeah, it's actually and then
Everyone you know is there.
when they win, everyone just storm the field.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
But the teacher that kicked me out of the gym,
Oh yeah, that.
they banned, because of the success of the said tournament, they banned food because people were leaving the food and stuff behind.
Yeah.
Now, I was not leaving food behind.
Not one of those.
I wasn't one of those kids. I was eating
Not a little bug.
and I didn't eat much. I wasn't a big eater come recess, come lunch.
Yeah.
Very
I'd grab
skinny legend of you.
I'd grab like a muesli bar, maybe. On this occasion, I grabbed a packet of Tiny Teddies.
They go hard. Do they still
Chocolate?
Tiny Teddy?
I haven't had Tiny Teddies in ages.
They gotta
Maybe
bring it
that's
back.
we can definitely inquire with the
Arnott's.
with the parentals if we
Yeah.
can get some Tiny Teddies. But yeah, I had a bag of Tiny Teddies, like one of the small ones as well.
Yeah, there's like 10.
the lunchbox one. Lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like 2 happies, you got 2 grumpies, you got 1 sad.
And
you
I'm
know.
and I'm sitting there, and I know full well you're not allowed food in the gym, but it's Tiny Teddies. They're not food; they're friends. And I'm sitting there, and I saw fuckwit come strolling over, and I was like, "Oh, we're done here." He knows. He's seen me chewing on happy,
Something.
Were you like,
happy Tiny Teddy man.
I'm getting
I
like
should
the
have.
Cookie Monster.
I should have, but I just
Jake
like
was
held.
feeling him in the corner.
I stuck fat and just like kept eating them. And he was like, "All right, come on, let's go." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, like I'm about to finish. I got 3 Tiny Teddies left. Here's the wrapper. You can put it in the bin, or I can put it in my pocket." And he goes, "No, you got to come outside." And I was like, "That's like not happening. Like I'm gonna be finished before I even get up, let alone get outside." Anyway, a swearing triad kicks off. I'm like absolutely going off at this bloke, to the point where like the boys are like a little bit stunned, like a little bit like, "Oh, pretty
There's
unnecessary."
the point where the boys like on your back, and then they kind of like, oh,
He's gone too. He's gone too far. He's gone too far, and I'm kicking off. It's I would have been year 12, and I'm just like losing it at this bloke, mainly because
'Cause in year
I
12
didn't like him, and secondly, what a stupid thing to get hung up on.
In year 12, you really realize these people have no real authority.
Oh, no,
over
what are
them.
they-
No,
really-
well, we finished school in 3 months, and he's a sad teacher, and I'm a fucking podcast entrepreneur.
Yeah, you showed him.
Who's the real loser? And then so I've just kicked off at him, and he didn't know how to respond, so he sent me to the head of year. Me,
Oh.
me and the head of the year, pretty good mates. And so I went and told him what happened, and he was just like, "Oh, like
Oh yeah, I love when they do that. They like go to the head of year, and it's like
yeah, me and the head of year."
you have to explain it.
Like I went, sat down
Yeah.
in the head of year's office, and we just like chatted about other shit. And he goes, "Why are you here?" I was like, "Oh, old fuckface said that I had to
It
come
would be
down.
like if the cops were like, "All right, you got to go talk to the judge," and then you're like to the judge, you're like, "What happened?" Like, "Oh no, the coach was being a dick." And it's like, classic cops.
yeah, that's exactly what went on. And then he was like, okay, well, you can go to class. And I was like, yeah, Chris. He goes, what have you got? And I was like, oh, out to red with that teacher.
No.
Fucking oath. And I was like, walked in, and the teacher expected me to not to see me that hour because he was like, oh, he's gonna be in
cooked.
so much trouble. And like I walked in, he goes, oh, like what did that teacher say? And I was like, fucking nothing, man. He didn't care about my tiny teddies. And that was it. That was as much as the conversation went on. And like he was just so awkward the whole rest of the wouldn't look at me, wouldn't speak to me, just like being a real real penis.
And the reason why is like he could have been a good bloke, but he chose not to.
Yeah, he just chose to be an asshole. What do you have against tiny teddies? Especially the chocolate ones. They're the best.
They're the best ones.
They are.
They're
They
the
go
best.
hard.
And it's so Jake has a lot of these stories with teachers.
Yeah, kick off.
And
the
it made
teachers,
me and Riley's high school, going through high school, a little bit more difficult than you would normally.
Leave your
You were
mark.
normally
Leave your
gay.
legacy. older siblings, leave your legacy.
One
Kick off
time,
forever.
a teacher who Jake did not like at all had both me and Riley at the same time. And I
What
think
name?
This is
she was your English teacher.
English teacher that you didn't like. She changed names.
Oh,
Yeah, and
she
then-
was scum, man.
I loved
She's
her.
great.
She was a
She
queen.
was the lovely
worst.
lady.
All the boys loved
great
her.
teacher.
Yeah.
Everyone.
She was the pits, man.
She was
No,
queen.
okay, so everyone loved her. She was great.
She
We
was
had
scum.
Such a fun English class.
Scum.
Year 11 English. A great time.
And she got pregnant. And then she left.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Do you boys believe in karma?
Yep.
I'm gonna say no.
You don't.
No, I think that people can sort of have to face the consequences of their own actions, but I don't think it's any sort of like universal balance, you know?
So you don't believe what goes around comes around.
Not like
The
it's
good energies. You
fated
don't
to
believe in
be.
good
Yeah.
energies.
I believe in good energies, obviously. Good energies. Good footy, yeah, boy, yeah, good footy energies. Obviously. It's different in sport. Anyway.
Well, I believe in it, and I have a story that will prove you wrong. We're taking it back. So it's this girl's 16th or 17th birthday party. I can't really remember. It was the one... Okay. It would be her 17th, all right? It was the last year. It was her last year's birthday party. Early January. It was
So
approaching...
she's 18 now.
It was approaching the end of her... end of the school holidays, and she was having her birthday party.
Okay.
Late January.
Summer vibes.
Summer
Just going
vibes.
into year 12. You've set the scene perfectly.
Legit. I was wearing Brockhampton merch. I remember. It was just a great time. And I got to the party. Everyone was on the beveraginos. You know how it is. I was on the beveraginos. You know how it is.
So you would have been 16 at the
16
time.
at the time.
Shit.
Bit of a baller like that. Hence the 63 acre. And then I remember getting to a point in the party where I ran out of my vodka in the Mount Franklin bottle.
A classic.
I ran out and I was sad. I was like, I feel like I could have another few drinks and I won't be throwing up. So I decided they had a fridge outside and I decided to crack it open.
What?
The fridge.
The fridge.
Okay.
I cracked open the fridge and I was like, let me have a look, see if anything's in here there.
So now you're just pinching other
For
people's
the-
drinks.
Listen. And I saw a lovely lemon lime cruiser, much like the one Joe has over there. If you want to show the camera. And as a young man, I wasn't...
So
I
proud.
made light work of that.
Cruisers go hard, especially when they're not yours. And I started drinking it. And I think at this point, I actually had been drinking enough to feel vibes, you know? And I remember
Drunk.
I put it down on a table. It was like inside and outside party. And I was like...
So
Must be nice.
they're doing all right. Yeah.
Inside
deep
and
down.
It was
outside.
like a lounge. And then
You
like
get to choose the climate.
And then I remember putting it down on the table, and it was like hour or two left of the party, so I was approaching the end. And her older brother walked in,
Yeah.
How long is the party?
2
Yeah.
hours to go. The night is nearly over.
and her
Crack open the fridge.
3-day party.
and her brother walked in the room and said, "Whose drink is this?"
Hang on. Who are we talking about?
This the girl's brother.
Yeah. Do we have a name?
Would we know them?
No,
Alright.
not a clue. And I, being a little bit on the tipsy side, said, "That's mine."
The cruise.
I claimed it as mine.
The cruise.
Who?
The cruiser.
Yeah, the cruiser. Yeah.
Who?
So then I
Who was
claimed
in my crew?
I claimed the drink as mine, which was look to begin with. I was like, "Oh, this bloke wants to grab this drink. I'm gonna
This
claim
half,
this."
half
I was
drunk.
like, "No, that's mine." And then he left the room, and then I later thought I was like, "That was his drink," and he was walking around trying to find who
Who
was
had
drinking
taken
it, and he caught me, but he didn't say anything.
Because it could have been yours.
And then I felt bad about it, and I like told a little story, like this story, to people throughout the year. Like,
Oh, you've told us multiple times.
when I stole this girl's,
and it's coming off this rusty.
when I it's been a while.
Fuck, I would have loved to have been there the first time.
When I stole this girl's brother's cruiser,
Yeah.
and then her 18th rolls around
Earlier this year.
earlier this year, just
In January.
just a few months ago. And I remember getting to the cruiser, and this time I had pre-mixed drinks. I think I had a few cruisers with me, and I put them in the communal esky. And I was getting through them, slowly. And then I remember I had one left in the esky. And I walked over to grab my last cruiser.
Yes.
He'd binged it.
It wasn't there.
Oh.
The cruiser wasn't there. What goes around comes around
that is
in the
the
same
wor-
place at the same time 1 year later.
That is the worst.
What goes around comes around.
That is the
That is
worst.
perfect karma.
That
It's like
is-
a time traveling fridge.
You can't tell me that karma doesn't exist.
What, just based on that story alone?
Well, how is that not a perfect example? Well, literally what went around
Yeah.
came around at the exact same
He
place,
has
at
a
the exact
point.
same time, exact same girls' party, exact same drink.
Yeah, actually.
Karma is real.
You know what?
He's just
at
changed-
first, it was a bit like, oh, this is a long story for like a really no payoff, but I do like it. The same date, let's say.
roughly.
Same drink,
Same celebration.
same location.
2 meters apart.
And to lose one drink and to get one drink back.
Exactly.
You're even Steven.
I'm even Steven.
All right, boys. This week it's Derby number 52. The Docs play
The big Western Derby.
the Docs play the Eagles for the 52nd time in AFL history.
The Western Derby. It's a classic.
It is.
It's a classic here. I don't think it gets televised over
It's a
East.
classic. It doesn't know.
I doubt it.
Firstly, is it Derby or Derby? We say Derb.
Derby.
Definitely Derby.
We
What is
say
it?
Derb, but
what is
why
it?
do that?
Why do they say Derby?
Why do the other mobs say Derby?
What is a derby?
It's spelt the same.
That's the
Is
weird
it?
thing.
I thought
How-
it was spelled with an A.
No, how you get R out of an E?
Herb.
Derby. It's like they're mispronouncing it.
I think
I think
they
they
are.
are.
But is it just us? I think it's just us. Maybe
They say-
Adelaide?
Yeah, I think
Do the crew in Adelaide say Derb?
so. Yeah, and it's a Victorian thing to say Derby.
Derby.
Derby. It's
Yeah.
a Western Derby. Is that
I think it's.
West?
I think it has to do with English. Like English
Thanks for
people.
weighing in.
English people.
Well, we asked the MacPack fans, the pack themselves, who do you think's going to win this weekend?
Who do we think's gonna win?
I'm gonna say surely the Eagles are a far better side than the
Eagles are-
Dockers side at the moment.
I
Are they
hate,
not?
I hate the Eagles, but they're pretty
Wait,
good.
There's been. What are the big injuries lately for both teams? Any idea?
Questions without notice are my favorite.
Not any huge ones, clearly.
Ooh, that makes it interesting.
It
I
does.
don't know. Do you want to look?
I don't even really know who the players are. So does it matter?
Yeah. You name any player, I'll be like, oh.
Chirra. Oh, Alex Pearce, he's out.
Yep.
He's a big out, but he was out early on.
There's not many. Docs aren't missing a heap, I don't think.
But I feel like with the Dockers line, it's like, do they really have big injuries? There's not really any
Rory
big players.
Lob's back.
Lobbo. Don't know who that is.
What is that?
Lobbo.
I don't think we're well versed to be discussing.
Rory.
Me neither. What did the poll say? These people know a lot more than we do.
So we had 48% of people say the Docs are going to get home, and we had 52% of people say the Eagles. The
Ooh,
Dockers,
that's
you,
close.
you mentioned off air that the Docs are now ahead of the Eagles on the ladder for the first time in fuck knows how long. What,
Since their
2013?
club's existence.
Since what, 2013?
I don't know. The year that Dockers made the finals.
That's
probably.
that.
Yeah,
That was
that's-
2013.
Well, that's when they made the grand final. It's been a
Damn.
minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Almost a
yeah.
decade.
Fuck.
8 years. Not many
Holy
rebuilds
shit.
take 8 years, but they
Yeah.
like bottomed out. What, 2015? They bottomed
They're
out.
still tanking,
Which is
I think.
Yeah, they're just.
We're going to get the next Matt Pavlich, I swear to God. Yeah, because, yeah.
It's pretty weird. It's like a very even split. Although like Eagles are like
So,
premiership side.
Yeah, Eagles played finals like for the last 3-4 years,
And-
and they're not a bad crew.
they haven't been winning games.
And Freo.
Who'd
Like,
they lose? They lost to who recently? Like last week. They had. They just got. Oh, they got absolutely. They got their teeth kicked in by Geelong.
Oh, yeah.
That's an all-time. That's just nothing. Nothing warms the cockles as much as watching the Eagles just get their absolute shit shafted
oh.
off them.
nothing
Yeah,
warms
so
the
like,
what?
I know, I know that Mum always used to say when we were growing up, like, oh, you know, like,
Go the
if,
Western.
if the
teams.
Eagles got into the finals, like, oh, I mean, it's still kind of good because they're from
Nah,
WA.
they're from here.
Nah,
Nah, fuck them. I fucking hate them.
We
I
all
hate
hate-
going to the games because of the fucking fans. Like when the Pies come over,
I bet
if they're versing the Eagles, it's like, why even go?
Yeah, the Eagles fans suck. Eagles
I-
fans, you're the shittest Eagles fans.
Dockers fans. So these guys are members. Occasionally, I'll get an invite to a game,
Lucky boy.
and we sit in the Dockers fan base.
Yeah.
And oh my god, those people are fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they'll be up by like 50, which obviously doesn't happen that much, but like they're still like,
Oh, it's
so
anyone's
anxious.
game. Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
anyone's
oh.
game.
ah, and then just so many like
It's
hands
pissing
on the
fun.
face.
Like you
It's
can be,
oh.
you can be up by 5 goals with 2 minutes left, and Dockers fans are like, don't know, somehow reckon we're gonna get
They're gonna
shafted.
choke.
Yeah, something's gonna go down.
I guarantee you, all the people that were hate speeching us on that TikTok,
Eagles
Eagles
fans.
fans, yeah.
100%.
I'm sure we're about to find out.
No Freo fan would be like,
Just in it for the love. Will there be crowds this weekend?
I don't think so.
The
nah.
COVID rules finish on what, Saturday Arvo?
Oh shit, maybe.
So the footy's on Sunday Arvo. If they
Have they sold tickets?
no, not yet. They're not fucking idiots.
So when all tickets on sale?
Well, that's
Saturday
the thing.
morning.
Like
Well, when's
should-
the
they should have
lockdown
it-
finish?
Saturday morning.
Free entry
Is it Saturday morning or Saturday night?
Saturday.
12:01.
No, it's 12:01.
on Saturday.
Saturday AM.
Oh, right, the morning off.
Yeah. They could go on sale then.
Well, that's up for grabs. All right, we'll go predictions just because that makes heaps of sense. We seem really
Yeah.
educated on these two teams.
I'll go.
Mind you, the Pies going absolutely rock bottom this year.
Oh, I got a little notification. Nathan Buckley, who for those who don't know, that's the Collingwood coach. He was doing a press conference,
today.
so I joined in.
Oh, did
and
ya?
then it was a bit kind of like a classic Mark McGowan press conference where he's not there at the start, but the Facebook Live has already started, and all the comments were like, "Oh, is he fucking resigning? Is he getting out?"
There's so much negativity going on.
Yeah, one guy was like, "If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it at all."
Man, I'm on that many like Collingwood fan pages
they
and like
hate it.
all over Twitter. Fuck, they're quick to turn their back. Very quick
Yeah.
to turn their back on the team. And
Side by side, unless we're losing.
yeah, for the last couple of weeks, a lot of like pack up the season, just play the kids, and we have. We actually have officially done it. We had four.
I love
four
that this is the derby chat, but
we had 4 blokes last week. Between them, had played 8 games,
oh yeah, because wasn't it someone's first game last week?
and we just added Poulter this week, which is big news. And so like literally 2 weeks ago, play the kids. Now we've played the kids. It's like we're so underexperienced.
Who
We've got-
are these people?
yeah,
Why are they out there?
it's like what is,
Come on, Box.
it's like what
Come on, quit. Why don't you just quit already?
Cool, Buck.
like what is going
Yeah.
on?
It's not his fault.
We're a shit team. That's who we are this year. That's okay. We're allowed to be shit. We traded away everyone that was at all talented
One
and under the age of 25. We just
One-
went, nah, fuck it.
One comment was so a bunch of people left Collingwood. Well, a lot of people got traded because of like salary cap or whatever.
Yeah, Trelaw, Stevenson,
Trelaw,
A2,
Trelaw, Stevenson, and
A2,
Phillips. And then
Phillips.
one of the comments was, "Do you think Box has Trelaw, Steve, and Phillips in his fantasy team?"
You didn't like that one, did you?
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
So predictions for the Derb.
I gotta go Dockers.
You got to go Docs.
Yeah.
How much? And who wins the medal? There's a medal.
Dockers
20
6.
points.
Dockers by 6.
I reckon.
and 5.
5 wins the medal. Go.
No, I reckon. So yeah, Dockers win by 20,
Fuck.
and Brayshaw.
I'd like to see Brace.
Just through
that's a
the
good
wire,
point.
we'll get it.
I'd love to see the Docs win. I'll say Hart says Docs by 8 and Brace. I think the Eagles are going to get it done.
And then, do you think who'll win the medal if Eagles get it?
Probably Gaff. He'll have like 45. Probably punch another couple of kids in the
Do a
back
couple
of it.
bruised knuckles and
Yeah,
a couple goals.
yeah. Just pad out those stats, baby.
What a cunt.
Boys,
Boys.
we talked about Nando's a few weeks
Boys.
ago, didn't we?
Yeah, probably.
We talked about peri peri salt.
We
Yeah.
did. Perry Bossall.
Do you love it? Do you hate it? What would you rate it?
Last night, I was at work with a new co-worker. He's new to the job. And I was talking to him about some of his old jobs, and I was like wondering if it was good, what he's been doing, with his life before this new job. And he said he used to work at none other than Nando's.
Nando's.
Very exciting.
And I asked him, I said,
Perry exciting.
what basting are you?
Oh,
He goes with the mild. I also go with the mild. We're mild boys.
hot's good.
Yeah, really. When you grow up a bit, you get hot.
And he told me something very interesting.
Oh, here we go. Predictions.
This
What do
is
we think
it.
it's going to be? I think it's going to be that hot is just mild times 2.
Or mild is just hot mixed with lemon herb.
No.
There is no such thing
Neither.
as hot.
So on the basting levels, they have, what do they go? They go very hot, mild, lemon and herb, barbecue.
Yep.
All right.
They did lemon and lime for a bit. That was fun.
Did you know that? Well, do you know anyone who has barbecue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor gets barbecue.
And sometimes, do they still go? Are they still doing a bit of that? Are they still like, it's hot?
No.
All right. Well, I remember sitting with her. She was when we were eating Nando's one time, and she was like, at barbecue.
Yeah, no.
And-
Taylor did a breath while she was eating.
Did she?
No, and
Did she breathe?
And you guys talked about it, and you were like, "Bro, it's barbecue."
All right.
Oh
It's
no,
so
I do. I do. Yeah, I know people who get barbecue and they say that it's can still
Yeah,
be a bit
it's still hot.
spicy.
Did you know that on every? Do you know how we get mild and lemon and herb?
Yeah.
Did you know that the original basting that they put on the chicken to fry it? Well, first of all, did you know that the chicken is already cooked? They cook the chicken on a what do you call it? Flame grill. And then before it goes out, they put it on the flame grill
preheat
to
it.
give it a flame grill sense, and they cover it with lemon and herb, flame grill it, then put the basting on whatever you want, and then give it to you. So every single bit of chicken is originally cooked from somewhere else, then flame grilled for the aesthetic, put on lemon and herb, and then served to the customers.
Oh,
So it's always cooked in lemon and herb.
No matter what. If you get barbecue and you think that it's still hot, it's because there's some lemon and herb on
but is
there.
lemon and herb spicy?
Lemon and herb's not spicy, but if you're getting barbecue, you think that lemon and herb is spicy. Hence, you're not getting lemon and herb.
I thought people got barbecue because of the taste.
Yeah.
Well, some people,
It would cook a fair bit of the. If you get barbecue, what that lemon and herb basting is, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
it is.
It's sweet in the barbecue. Barbecue tastes terrible, but yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of the lemony
and herb.
pizzazz.
'Cause what do-
And I was like, that's like so close to false advertising. Like it's not, but it almost is.
I don't.
But it's not the.
But that's just like saying it's Big Mac sauce, but there's actually tomato sauce in it that you just can't taste.
Not your best.
Not quite. So, okay, but then so hear me out. So mild, what does that taste like?
It's just a bit spicy.
Well, it doesn't really taste like anything.
Is it just a spice level?
Well, it does taste like it's a very like sweet sensation where like when you get to the very hot's just like doesn't really taste nice. It's just like hot.
We used to go to Nando's and Dad would get the like sauce that was in the. You can't buy. It's an off menu item, but they have it. They have it there.
The bottles.
The bottle, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got the black label, the
Oh.
Johnny Walker black label. It's a type of whiskey, right?
Is there any more to this story? Or is
Yeah,
that
Dad would put this like he would like douse his like chicken with it.
or in the super hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he would sit there. He would like sit over it like. You gotta get the sound effects into the mic. And then he would just be dripping.
Did he?
With
Yeah,
sweat.
he would drip with sweat eating this fucking chicken.
At home?
Nah,
Or at the
At
restaurant?
the place.
What the fuck? Was I ever there? I don't think I've ever witnessed that. I wouldn't. I'd
You know,
leave.
he would make it so spicy that he was like sweating, and it's like,
That's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
There's a point at Nando's where it's too hot. It's not enjoyable.
Yeah, anything more than hot is like push
Anything
out.
more than mild is pushing it.
No, hot's good.
Hot can do, but like hot is on the taste of it's not tasting good anymore. It's just hot. I
You
feel
know,
like all
I've
the,
heard that.
all the lower ones have a taste, but the extreme ones don't have
Don't,
a taste.
yeah.
They're just hot.
I've heard that. So say if you're going out with a girl
Or a boy.
or a boy, you're going out with someone you want to impress.
Or both.
I've heard that you can ask, "Hey, I'm gonna get the
Oh.
lemon and herb, but like put the hot flag in."
Put the fucking.
Wait, that's pretty cool.
But see, I like to play mind games with people. So what I'll do is I'll ask for the extra hot and get the lemon and herb. I buy the vegan burger, so I'm like, "Hey, have a bite." Yeah, and then it burns them, and I get to act like I guess a bit of a tough guy.
What is happening?
That's cool that you can get the flags. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But you have to be the one ordering.
Mm.
You can't be like.
And then you have to then whisper into
And
someone's
they have to not be
mouth.
like standing there.
Yeah, you have to like sit down and be like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run to the toilet.
Be how
Yeah.
weird. You're that weird guy.
And then
That's
they like,
sweating profusely.
yeah, you're like, no, I'll order. I'm gonna go up and order. No, don't come. And then you
Shut
like,
the fuck up.
you get it, and then the whole time you're just like, oh, I love spicy food. I love spicy food. And then the like waitress comes up. She's like, oh, we got two chicken wraps. One of them was lemon and herb, and one of them was lemon and herb with a hot flag.
Sheesh.
All right, boys. Obviously, just come out of the old freshie lockdown. I saw a heap of photos over the weekend of a heap of blokes essentially just going into Bunnings to buy up a heap of shit. So Bunnings was packed on the
Is this
weekend. Is
before
essentially what I'm getting
lockdown?
at. No, this is during because it was like we got
Bunnings is essential.
3 days home. We got to do some shit. Now,
boys are doing some projects. is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
a couple of weeks ago, I was at I was like a Repco, maybe a Repco.
Yeah, like a car
I'm not all that.
into cars.
No, but I'm very out of place in these Bunnings and these Repco. Might come as a surprise to you, Joe, but I'm not really the hands-on type.
No.
I'm a office boy, through and through.
Yeah, you know how to do a Facebook, but you don't know how to do a tool.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
But while I was standing in the Repco place and had the woman on the other side of the counter fitting my windscreen wipers for me.
Yeah, because it was too tricky for you.
Well, Mum was there, and she was getting hers done, and I was sort of just come for the ride. more
When
than-
in Repco.
Get your windows done. Essentially, yeah. So I was just standing there. Felt you do feel different when you're in a Repco
Yeah.
and or a Bunnings type store. You feel a lot more.
Yeah.
You
I'm
feel,
a man. I'm a man.
you feel like a man when you're in a Bunnings store.
Yeah.
You do.
Even when you're lost, you
You
can just
feel
be like roaming around, looking at how tall
And
the.
You're
Yeah,
in
if
the
you look-
flower section. You just, oh. God, they're pretty.
If you're looking intently at some nice doorknobs, you're like,
Yeah.
that's a man.
I could these tools, I could pick them up.
I could use these if I knew.
I could do things
if
with
I-
them.
if I knew how.
So do you guys, yeah, I feel like there's sort of, growing up, sort of the men split into multiple streams.
Yeah.
You got the sports guys.
Sports.
You got your like music arts guys.
Yeah.
You got your math guys, the alphas, and then you got your car guys.
Yeah.
Car guys. Yeah.
Car guys are weird. Car guys are the horse guys of. Car guys are the horse guys of fuck.
Of the girls. Girls have horse guys. We have car guys.
Horse girls. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing.
They're like I have nothing against them.
It's just a funny thing to really like.
Yeah. People get
Yeah.
really excited about like
cars.
yeah.
Like, what's to like? Like, what do
They're
you
all
like?
very similar, are they not?
They
Oh,
are.
especially like I understand like the high end. Like I used to watch. I used to watch
Yeah,
Top Gear,
that
and
makes
like
sense.
you know,
Bill, you are a car guy.
yeah, it's like, oh, they got the Bugatti Veyron or whatever. Like like the
You've always
hell
mispronounced that.
Bugatti.
I think that's
that
wrong
right?
again. Anyway.
You know, you got those cool ones. But then when people are like, they like, you know, like when someone picks you up, you're like, oh, I'm in like the Kia. It's like,
Could care less.
Right.
Yeah, especially these days. Like all sedans are essentially the same, but they're not.
Yeah, I don't really get it all.
What is a sedan?
I was sitting at I was sitting at one of my mates' gathers the other day, and we are listening to some music that him and his friend had been making.
Yeah.
And he was like showing me like some like cool things that he's gonna do and stuff. And then it was me, him, and then some other bloke.
Yep.
Other bloke's into cars. He's a car guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're on like what's that big road?
Here we go.
that
This is
goes
how far
past-
we're not car guys. We don't even know the roads.
that goes past like Bull Creek Station.
South Street.
Nah,
Leach
Bull,
Highway.
Bull Creek Station, champ.
Leach Highway.
Leach Highway, yeah. And someone just like full revved their car and like went flying down. And the bloke to my right, who wasn't really talking about the music, was like, "Oh, that sounds so nice." He was like, "That's like a V6 engine turbo or something."
Like, who cares?
I was like, "How
Like-
do you know that? Like, what? Like, you literally
Yeah.
heard something and you're like,
But then-
I know what car that is. I know what model
Oh,
that
that's
is."
actually
That's a part of that man's brain that's just like being used, just being
car noises.
yeah, it's just being wasted.
Vroom,
I
vroom.
there's a couple of car boys we used to work with. I think Jake would know.
Oh, fuck.
Would know, but apparently one of them, there was like a big listen out or something like that,
Yeah.
and there was like it was a big day drinking and stuff, and then there was like kick-ons, and it was it went to pretty late in the night.
Oh yeah.
So by the time everyone crashed, they were like pretty exhausted.
yeah.
And apparently one of the
Good
car,
use of the word exhaust.
Oi.
and apparently one of the car guys was like sleeping on the couch, bit out of it. I think he was like sort of half asleep, half awake.
Yeah.
But apparently he was making car noises
What?
in his sleep. Like,
What? No way!
no, like legit. Like people told me this story.
No way.
Did anyone wake him or film him or anything? Surely you're like, did you toot at him?
I don't think so.
That's so
That's
strange.
weird, man. That's
He's
the
just
equivalent of me like
changing gears.
commentating while I'm laying in like asleep,
Yeah.
just like bang, bang.
That is kind of cute though. I imagine what's happening in his little dream.
Just driving around.
Is he a car in the dream? Do you think?
Yeah, or is he the driver? Is he Lightning McQueen?
Yeah, he's just doing hot laps.
But yeah, you're in rep car.
Yeah, and like there was a few blokes in there who'd obviously been in there a few times because the chick like knew that. One guy just came back. He just blatantly got the wrong thing earlier because he came back and literally just like waved these new ones, bought something else and was just like, oh yeah, got the wrong one before,
Yeah.
but didn't bring it back. Like they're the sort of blokes that are like, no, there's no waste.
Yeah.
Like we're not getting refunds. We'll just
I
fucking
could
use
use a bolt for another thing.
yeah for someone else's car that I'll fucking fix or something. But you do feel like
You made it.
you can sort of fake it when you're in like a Repco or
Oh,
a
yeah. Bunnings,
and like you can just like
Oh,
stroll
yes.
in with your hat and like
Yeah.
your,
Better than.
with your thongs and just like chill out and just be like, oh yeah, fucking gotta get that
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
easel.
Repco.
Easel's gotta
Easel. Is it like a painting thing?
yeah. Well, you can paint in Bunnings. Painting's the only place in Bunnings that I've ever
True.
been to.
Paint section goes hard. It is
Paint
fun.
section does go.
Walking
hard.
through Bunnings is fun.
Hopefully we get we're actually looking to get a Bunnings specialist as our next guest on the podcast. This has come as a
Yeah.
great little interlude.
She's a lady. I wonder how she feels when she goes into Bunnings.
She's a pretty manly dude.
Wow, are you allowed to say that?
Is she like a tomboy?
She's like a tomboy.
Is that
Like a
what you mean?
tomboy.
Yeah, I would say she's a manly dude.
She's like into guy
She's-
stuff.
She's like 6'5", way bigger than all of us.
Yeah.
big facial hair. Nah, but yeah, we will get in contact with her probably within the next
Yeah,
week.
with her agent.
Yeah, because we'll get in contact with her people
With
ASAP
Bunnings.
because we want her on the pod real soon. She can tell us what it's like to feel like a man, I guess.
Yeah. When was the last time you guys did handiwork?
I remember one time one of my
The
mates,
fact that I don't know speaks volumes.
one of my mates like was borrowed one of our push bikes. We was like riding around, and like the chain came off.
Nice.
Putting that chain back on.
You did.
Yeah, you just feel like, it's like
You're a mechanic.
Once you get a bit of grease
and
on
you
your
gotta
hand,
get some WD-40 in there just to like oil it up.
my chair
Yeah,
at
how
work
it is.
squeaks, and I don't know like why or where the squeaking is coming from. So I just sit and bear it rather than
Yeah.
using the WD-40 to calm it down.
Other lot?
Because I don't want to get my hands dirty, essentially. Because like the chairs have weird oil and stuff, and like grease and shit comes off them. I'm like,
The last
I
handiwork
really
I
want
did
to touch
was
that shit.
I made my ergonomic chair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so bought this new chair. We had got like a little working from home bonus for work, so I bought this lovely new chair, really comfortable.
There we go.
Anyway, so it came.
Why didn't you use it for the podcast?
You had to set it up. Oh, it's a bit too nice.
Okay.
You had to set it up So I was there, I was screwing all the bolts in or whatever.
Yeah.
Got to a tricky bit.
Yep.
Left it for 2 weeks, half done, and then Dad helped me finish it.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
spirit. But yeah, if you ever go into if you tell us your stories, if you go into Repco, if you go into Bunnings,
My new job's pretty manly.
yeah,
Yeah,
your new
the
job's
trading
very
kit.
manly. That's why it's
Covered in
that's,
dirt the
That's
other
why
day.
you're really struggling
Oh,
early on.
We used to do like chair maintenance at the cinema.
That was fun.
That was manly work.
I used to paint a fair bit. I'm a pretty decent painter. I painted a fair bit of the cinema complex over my time. Most of the plate
Most of the paint in there.
is come from my hands.
What do you mean? What have you
Little
painted?
Picasso.
I
The walls and
painted. I've
shit.
painted all of the
The side rails.
when you first walk in, like all near the manager's office, like internal stuff, and then everything down the side is entirely me.
What down what side? Like the
Me
Down
and a
the
couple of the
tunnel.
boys, a couple of the car boys actually helped paint
Yeah.
with that stuff.
One of them,
why don't
I
you
think,
hire
did a
painters?
whole rail of a cinema.
Wrong, completely
left,
wrong.
and then the location manager came in and was like, "Who the fuck is?"
Yeah,
doing
use
this?"
the wrong paint. We needed to use glossy paint.
And it's like
He was too busy
nah.
going, and he just like,
Just like
used
rolling the pin like it's a car.
yeah, but so painting's my thing. I don't mind painting. Painting's good fun.
Is that manly?
There was one. So we
Well, it's not like
It's
changing.
not-
It's not
it's
like changing a tire.
had to.
No, I wouldn't know how to do that. I remember that we went to go to a comedy show tonight, the night of recording, but obviously due to COVID,
We were meant to be at the comedy gala.
we can't do that. So instead,
We're
we're
performing.
providing. We're
We're
doing,
doing
a
our
bit
own
of,
little comedy gala.
Hey.
But yeah, we were heading to one of the sets
Matt O'Kine.
years ago, and we were going to be pushing it. Like I was driving
Yeah,
and
we were
pinging,
already-
like racing, because we were going to be so late. And we've been late to a few shows. It's not really what you want. We went late to one show and we were down the very front.
The very front.
And we
Luke McGregor.
Yeah, we were the biggest element. Like the rest of the show, we got there. We only saw half of it, but the
I feel
entire
like he would have done a lot of gags about us before we got there.
yeah, well, we must have, because the only thing he spoke about when we were there was us. Not as funny when you're the Bart, but I got like he high fived me at one point. He really got involved.
Daps.
So we didn't want to be late for this one,
Seems fun.
and then my tire. Did it go flat? Or
We smelt
it
rubber.
Fell. Yeah, that's right.
We're
And
like, what
the
the
car
fuck is
started
that?
pulling towards the river, and
We pulled over.
We pulled over the emergency.
pulled
The
over.
first time I've ever been in the emergency lane on the old
It
Quinana.
was like
luckily I was with one of my mates who is a bit of a manly man.
Manly
He
dude.
works with elevators and grease and
and drives planes
and engines.
Flies
Yeah, he
planes.
knows what he's fucking doing. And on this occasion, he really stepped up to the plate. He got out and he changed the tire within like a couple of minutes, and I was so impressed. I was like, "Fuck, man!" He changed that tire in like 10 minutes, and
Yeah,
I
he
told
was like, "No, I'll do it."
yeah, he literally jumped out of the car before I'd even turned the car off, and was just like basically working on the thing. And he'd had it done like within 5-10 minutes. I remember telling one of my mates, who wasn't there at the time, because I was that impressed by it all. I remember telling one of my mates, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, that's not that impressive."
Oh, really?
Pretty matter of
I
fact.
think it was like
and I was just
everyone
like, "Whoa."
it was more
That's
like the
pretty-
circumstance.
I couldn't have done that.
Everyone was so worried. We pulled over on the side of the road.
Yeah,
and
we
then
already thought we were gonna be late.
he had
then
just
I was
like got the
"Ah."
jack, and even the
Here we go. Here we go.
the twisty thing that goes into the wheels,
Yeah.
and then like he was just like
Don't look
he
at
was
us
just
fail.
like belting it with his feet, just like doing it
Yeah,
so
just, like,
quick,
kicking
like
it.
just with such like
Yeah, like I was
furiousness.
like,
He knew what he was doing.
ferocity.
yeah, it looked like I was like, that's gonna break.
And he was just like slamming the jack.
Yeah, but I think that's just how you do it.
Yeah. Anyway, he knew what he
it
was
was
doing.
pretty beast, yeah.
And we ended up getting there on time. So, proof that not all car guys are weird.
No, sometimes they'll save your life.
When they're low key, they're cool.
All right, boys, we're going to wrap up this week's episode of the MacPack Podcast, as we do every single week on the MacPack Podcast, without everyday hero. Joe Boy, where we heading?
We're heading to the Swan Valley.
The Swan
Hell
Valley.
yeah.
No, Riley, I think you're a bit a bit too young, but Jake, you've been on many a wine tour.
Yeah, I don't mind a tour to the valley. I hate wine, but the tours are fun.
So generally, Riley, the idea with a wine tour is you get about 50 or so people, pack them into a bus. Pre-start hell early,
Yeah,
like
mornings,
10,
yeah.
9,
That's rude.
and then just start drinking.
Wine?
fucked on the
Is it like
bus.
strict wine?
No, so we don't really drink that much wine because we don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go to more the breweries in Swan Valley. Anyway,
Oh, so it's like a wine tour, but you can choose what you drink.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So they
we go
brew
there.
wine as well, or is it just?
It depends where you go.
All right. Proceed.
So you go to Prees, drink, You get on the bus. The bus driver gives you the standard. All right, so you're not meant to put alcohol on, but if you do have it on, just make sure you throw all your rubbish out or whatever.
Yeah.
They standard like speech that they give. Everyone's drinking on the bus. You get to Swan Valley.
Yep.
Hit a winery, drink. Bus, drink. Winery, drink. So by this
You
stage,
get the picture.
a lot of drinking.
A lot of busing.
It's a big day. It goes from like if your pre-starts at like 10.
Do you usually leave a fair few behind?
Goes to
on the way?
5.
Like, is everyone there at the start? Always
Yeah, you
there?
can't
Well,
just like forget people.
I mean,
Well,
like,
that's the thing.
drunken people who can't go any further.
You forgot someone.
A wine tour takes a lot of planning.
It does.
It takes a lot of organizing,
Sounds
which
like it.
often falls on the birthday boy or girl's head.
Yes.
They're the ones who organize it. They're the ones who want to be out there having fun. They're the ones who need to be on top of anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But not for this wine tour.
Ooh.
This wine tour, the birthday boy was having a great time, and a good friend of him, a friend who we've spoken about on the show before,
Ooh.
he took the reins.
No
He
way.
was the wine tour captain.
He was the wine tourer.
We get to the place. He knew where we were going. He knew what time we're getting there, what time we're leaving,
Was he drinking as
where
well?
it is. Yeah, he was having a couple drinks, but not crazy.
Are we dropping names?
Smart
You're allowed
man.
to drop names for the everyday hero.
This is Stuart. Stuart was the wine tour captain.
Stewie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stewie! Stizza.
So yeah, he was like, we would get to the place, everyone would be ordering. He would like make sure everyone like, we guys are sitting at the right table. We're not losing people. We're not leaving anyone behind on
What
this
a-
wine tour.
What a
What a
captain.
king.
What a captain. I know.
What
the
a
old
man.
the old bus guy, he would come and give us like, well, he would come
Yeah.
the first time he came and told us all. He was like, all right guys, the bus is leaving,
Yeah.
you know, in 15 minutes, whatever. But after that,
That was
Stewie.
he was going to Stewie. But the thing is, Stewie knew. He knew when the bus was leaving. He didn't need to be told.
How
Do you really
did
think some captain needs the fucking co-pilot, the guy driving the thing?
Did
No,
he?
no.
Did the birthday boy ask Stewie to fulfill this role, or did he just do it?
No, I don't think so. Because it's not really a thing. You can't go to someone like, "Hey, man, like I'm having a wine tour.
You're in charge.
I'm gonna be
So did
pretty
he, like, plan the
fucked
whole-
after
like,
the
was he,
second
like-
place. So I need you to sort of like make sure everything runs okay."
Like, was he like? Did Stewie make the event, or it was just
No,
Stewie
just,
rocked up on the day and was just like, "I'm in charge."
yeah. I think it was a bit. It was probably like they're on the bus. Maybe
We need a leader. I'm gonna be that leader.
he looked at the birthday boy. He goes, "No.
I got you.
I'm the captain
Oh,
now."
captain, my captain.
He was always the last person to get on the bus because he made sure everyone got there.
Head count.
Yeah, head count, warning. He must have had a couple drinks, but like not like a lot. Like he was still having a good time,
Yeah,
but for him,
his good time.
everyone else's day
mattered more.
mattered more.
Well, that's lovely.
Bravo.
So
Bravo,
he what did he do? He essentially
What
took it upon himself to be the captain of the day,
What didn't he do?
and
He made sure everyone had a good time. No one was worried. Everyone knew that he was on top of everything.
yeah, that's what you want. Sometimes you need a mum. Sometimes you need a dad. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need a captain.
He toured the wine.
And for that day, Stuart was the captain, and that's why this week, episode 31, our very own
Every day.
everyday hero is Stewie. Boys, we're gonna wrap up this week's episode by quickly just saying cheerio.
Catch you later. Till next time.
Thanks for coming.
It's been fun to sit next to the two of you, as it is each and every week.
It always is.
Boys, we'll do it again this time next week. Hopefully, we can get out of lockdown this week and we can kick back into the regular normality
Yeah, hit
Fingers
Medis again.
crossed.
that is life in Perth. Until next time, we say as we do each and every week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember
Go
to
give your mama a hug.
ciao for now, but not forever.